Hello boys and girls, and welcome to Mrs. Bandu's Math Movies. Today we're going to do lesson 1-10 for course 2, mean, median, mode, and range. So we're going to use data or to describe data using the mean, median, mode, and range. Okay, first of all, we're going to review what our definitions mean. And the mean of a set of data is the sum of the data divided by the number of data items. Okay, so basically you add up your data items. If there are 15 data items, you divide that sum by 15 and you have your mean. Mean is often referred to in common language as the average as well. But we're going to try to stick with using mean because that's our math term for that. Okay. An outlier is a data item that is much higher or much lower than the other items in a set. Okay, so if something's a lot higher or a lot lower than the other items in the set, you have an outlier. Sometimes you might have even more than one outlier in a set of data. Okay, the median of a set of data is the middle value when the data are arranged in numerical order. Okay, we'll also look down in example number 2, and I'm going to make them note, see example 2, for when you have an even number of data. It's nice when you have an odd number of data items because then there's an exact middle value. Example 2 explains what to do when you have an even number of data values. So I'm going to put a little star here and say see example 2, and by example 2 I have a star where that's important, so because we really don't have enough room to write it up here. Okay, the mode of a data set is the item that occurs with greatest frequency. Okay, you can have no mode. You can have one mode. You can also have more than one mode. Okay, so you don't always have a mode, but you can have one or you can have more than one as well. So there's a wide variety of things that can happen. Again, you're looking for something that occurs with the greatest frequency, which means most often. Okay. The range of a set of data is the difference between the greatest and least and the least values. Okay, so difference means subtract. So you take the greatest value in your set of data and subtract by the smallest value in the data. Okay, so those were our terms: mean, median, mode, and range, and we also discussed what an outlier is as well. Okay, Now, for this activity, if you don't have a calculator, you might want to pause right now and go grab one, because the numbers here, there's a lot of numbers, and it's going to be much more efficient to go ahead and use a calculator. Okay, so finding the mean. Find the mean of 502, 477, 593, 481, 735, and 614. Okay, so we need to sum those up, add them together, and then we're going to divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because there are 6 data items. Okay, so the sum of these 6 items, you should get 3,402. And again, be sure that you, if you're writing with me as we go, check yourself on a calculator. Be sure that you can in fact do this. And then divide by 6. Now in this case, this division bar acts like grouping symbols, meaning that we want to add all of these up before we divide by 6. So you get 3,402 divided by 6, which is 567. So the mean of this data is 567. Okay, next one is finding the median. Remember, the median is the middle item in the data chart. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to just take a quick peek here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns of 3. So 3 times 6 is 18, and it even tells me that 18 responses. Since I see that 18 is a an even number, I'm not going to have an exact middle value. And this is why I have the star here, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. So first, we want to write the data in order from least to greatest. So I would just go through and write down all the zeros. I believe there are 5 zeros in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It might be a good idea to lightly cross off as you write them down so you keep track of where you are. Then I get 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, excuse me. 4 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 twos. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 threes, so 3 and 3. I'm going to mark them off. And then I'm left with 4 and 8. Okay, so basically what you can do in your head, 18 divided by 2 is 9. So if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, this is item number 9. Then I count from the other end, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My 2 middle values are 1 and 2. If this were an odd number of items, counting from either direction, I would land on the same number, and that would be it. But since there are 2 middle values, I'm going to find the mean of those 2 middle values. So I'm going to find the sum of 1 plus 2, and then divide that by 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5, or 1.5. So the median is 1.5. It's not even a number in this list. That's okay. Again, remember, median is in the middle. It may or may not be one of the values in the list, but you put them in order. Find the middle term. If it's an odd number of data items, that's your median. If it's an even number of data items, add the 2 middles, divide by 2, you're finding their mean, and that's going to be the median of the data. Okay, here are your 2 quick check questions. You may stop now, pause the video now and do that, or you may come back to it later, whichever you prefer. I'm going on to example number 3, which is finding the mode. Find the mode of the data in the chart. Make a table to organize the data. Okay, so basically here is the favorite topping for pizzas for 12 people that were surveyed. And basically I see that there are 1, 2, 3 votes for peppers. Onions got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. Mushrooms, 2, and sausage, 2. Okay, quick check, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so I did account for everyone. You always want to double check that. So the mode in this group of data is onions, because most people preferred onions. So sometimes mode won't even be a number, it's going to be something, as in this case the topping of onions. Okay, it can be a number or it can be something. All right, one more example. This is a little bit longer tape here, but we're getting near the end, so hang in there. This is using an application of geography. So elevations in California range from negative 282 feet or 282 feet below sea level at Badwater in Death Valley to 14,495 feet at the top of Mount Whitney. Find the elevation range in California. So basically I'm going to take the highest point, the greatest value, which is going to be the positive number, and subtract the lowest value, negative 282. Okay, so remember that to subtract an integer, we add its opposite. So 14,495 minus negative 282 is rewritten as 14,495 plus positive 282. So again, we added the opposite of negative 282, which is positive 282. Since they now have like signs, I simply add. So that's 14,777 for my answer. So the elevation range in California is 14,777 feet. Okay, so the difference between the highest point and the lowest point would be 14,777 feet. Okay, we have, here are our remaining quick check questions. Please have all 4 of those answered by the time you come to class next time. Thank you very much.